Franz André Heller is an Austrian artist, author, poet, singer, songwriter and actor. Biography. Heller was born in Vienna into a wealthy Jewish family of sweets manufacturers, Gustav and Wilhelm Heller. He visited Café Horelka almost daily. It was in this coffee house that he met many men of letters including Friedrich Thorberg, C. Artmann, and occasionally Elias Canetti, as well as Hans Weigel, and Helmut Qualtinger, with whom he later on collaborated and performed. He took acting classes from Hans Weigel and his cohabiter Elfriede Rott. Theatre, radio, television, songs. Heller has been writing prose, poetry, and songs since 1964. He left school shortly before obtaining the Matura. From 1965 to 1967, he was a moderately successful actor at various Viennese avant-garde theatres. Public figure in 1967, Heller co-founded Hit Radio 03, the ORF's then progressive pop music station, where he was one of the hosts of the daily music box program. That same year, he recorded his first LP record with the title Near One that was released in 1970. His second LP called Platt was released in 1971, and, subsequently, his first play premiered entitled King Kong King Mayer Mayerling at Vienna Festival in 1972. Chansonnier is a poet-songwriter. His work spans across a period of more than 15 years, selecting diverse topics and writing for a German-speaking audience. He has worked with not only international names such as Astor Piazzolla, Dino Saluzzi, and Freddie Hubbard, but also with Austrian artists such as Tony Stricker, Wolfgang Ambros, and Helmut Qualtinger. Heller's own poetry has been set to music. He has also sung texts by other authors. For instance, Catherine, from 1970, was set to one of the first hits of Heller. The text came from the and then still largely unknown Reinhard May, and the music from the Austro-Canadian Jack Grunsky. With Werner Schneider, he created Viennese German songs that are translated from Jacques Brel, such as France. In 1976, he published a fairy tale, which is part of the children's book Update on Rumpelstiltskin and Other Fairy Tales by 43 authors, which is compiled by Hans Joachim Gelberg, illustrated by Willy Glassauer, and published by Belz and Gelberg. Using intimate memories of traumatic childhood experiences, and insights into his life, as well as his Catholic Jewish origin, he created songs with the title Angstlied. Titles like Miruna, Die Riesen von Göteborg are, in turn, influenced by the Vienna school of fantastic realism. Das Lied vom Idealen Park, or, as a duet with Wolfgang Ambros, he also introduced the Bob Dylan cover, Für immer Young, are now titles that are part of the Austro-pop canon. In 1983, he appeared on Stimmenhoren with the song, Erhebet euch Geliata, a song at the time of the peace movement in the early 1980s. Since the early 1980s, he turned increasingly to large public productions, installations and performances, until 1982, where his concert career came to close. In 1985, the album, Narrenlieder, was released. Between 1967 and 1985, he published a total of 14 LPs, 12 of those were gold records, and earned him 7 times platinum. In 1991, he wrote, looking back on this period, I started in 1967 to put my poems together using my voice on record and in recitals before millions of people. This was following the example of Bob Dylan's first meaningful and self-published poetry. 1982 was certainly the zenith of that career, where I had to stop my concerts. I realized at this point, it was spoiled for me, because at 8 p.m., I had to act gifted in front of a few thousand listeners, just because they had paid for admission. Heller in the liner notes of Kritische Gesamtausgabe, published in 1991. However, on his 60th birthday, Heller gave a concert in April 2007 at the Viennese Radio Kulturhaus. After 25 years of absence from the stage in a recital entitled Konzert für mich, between 1968 and 1983, Heller recorded 15 albums as a singer of his own texts, and in part of his own compositions. He was on the road with 9 international concert tours, and was the host and entertainer in 12 evening-filling TV shows. In 2006, thanks to the initiative of Chris Gelbman, he released his last album called Rough und Echo. The 3-CD compendium is the first release in the past 20 years, containing new songs, and interpretations of old hits by artists like Brian Eno, Xavier Naidoo, Thomas D., and the Walkabouts. Cultural manager Heller was appointed as an artistic director of the artistic and cultural program that ran parallel to the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany. His company, Artevent, was also responsible for the presentation of the Germany bid for the 2006 FIFA World Cup project. He designed the final presentation in 2000 for the successful West German application, and, in 2003, designed a Fußball Globus, an architectural project consisting of a huge lit-up football globe that toured through Germany, standing in public places such as Brandenburg Gate in Berlin. Heller invented the motto for the Football World Cup, Die Welt zu Gast bei Freunden. For the World Cup, Heller planned an opening gala in Berlin's Olympic Stadium, where Brian Eno and Peter Gabriel would be involved. On 13 January 2006, it was cancelled by FIFA. The reason cited was that the turf, which would have been reinstalled after the end of the gala, would not be in perfect condition for the first game there. Since 2003, Robert Hofer is his manager, and leads the firm Artevent, with headquarters in Vienna. Actor from 1976 until 1981, Heller played major roles in various international movies. In the late 1960s, Heller joined as a financier in the film Muss auf den Steinen, with Erika Pluhar in one of the main roles, for which he claims to have used up his inheritance. It was not long before he was in front the camera as an actor. Heller played the leading roles in Hans-Jürgen Seiberberg's Hitler, a film from Germany, in Fürchte dich nicht, Jacob, by Radu Gabriel, in Dr. Faustus by Franz Seitz, and in Peter Schamoney's Frühlingssymphonie, a supporting role in Maximilian Schell's 1979 film, Geschichten aus dem Wienerwald, which is based on Odin von Horvath's play. In 1969, Heller participated in a televised version of Arthur Schnitzler's tragic comedy, Das Weite Land, directed by Peter Beauvais, with O. W. Fischer, Ruth Lou Weirich, Walther Reyer, Helmut Qualtinger, and others. He embodied Gustav Wahl, the brother of Erna Wahl. In 1989, he also worked as a stamp artist on behalf of the United Nations Postal Administration. He designed a stamp to commemorate UN Vienna's 10th anniversary. Publications. Heller has received numerous international awards. He has to date written 14 printed publications, among them are collections of stories Die unter der Schlaflosigkeit in Wien, Auf und Davon, Schlamassel, and Als ich Einhund war, the novel Schattentaucher, and the collection of poems Sitztanner und Glaub, is there wa, as well as 2 picture books Jagdmann der Traum und Wirklichkeit, and Die Zarbegarten des André Heller. 21 TV documentaries have been produced about Heller's projects, productions, and plans. These were done by the likes of Werner Herzog, J. Seiberberg, and Elsa Klensch, among others. Private life. Heller was married from 1970 to 1984 to the actress, singer, and author Erika Pluhar. For some years, he lived in the 1970s with the actress Gertrude Gessierer, and much later, with the actress Andrea Eckert. Heller was romantically involved for short periods in the mid-1980s with Anke Kesselier, Rudi Carrell's former wife. The artist lives in an apartment in the Palais Windischgrätz in Vienna's Innenstadt quarter that is owned by the Augustinian monastery of Klosterneuburg. In 2000, Heller received the then German Chancellor Gerhard Schröder. Heller lives temporarily in the Giardino Botanico Rusca in Gardone Riviera. He currently lives with the former model Albina Schmid in Vienna, and travels the world. He has one son, Ferdinand, who goes under the stage name Left Boy for his music, performances, installations, stage designs. 1981 Flick Flack, a poetic music hall performance as part of the Vienna Festival, the tour through Europe. 1983 The Pyro Poem, a Theatre des Feuilles modelled on Baroque light and colour games held in Lisbon. Heller financed this spectacle from his own pocket that almost put him on the brink of bankruptcy. 1984 Stirs der Trauma, a fire show before the Reichstag in Berlin, attracts 650,000 paying spectators. 1984 Feuer Theater mit Klangwerk in front of the Berlin Reichstag. 1985 Mustrauer der Idol for the Federal Garden Show in Berlin. Heller created a floral painting from 40,000 plants. 1985 Begnadette Korp had its premiere on the 2nd of November, in the Deutsches Theater in Munich. Great Masters of the Acrobatics Schools in Anhui and Beijing tour through Europe. Heller was the first non-Chinese artist to be allowed to work with Chinese master acrobats and to present their refined skills to the West. 1986 in Graz, Heller created a Dichtergarten where he had a core set of important writers create poems with flower shapes. 1986 Himmelszeichen, hot air balloon sculptures that are celestial signs floating in the sky of London, Munich, Venice, Oslo, New York, Moscow, San Francisco and across the Niagara Falls. 1986 Salut für Olga, the show sought a revival of vaudeville arts. 1987 Luna Luna, staged in Hamburg, this was Heller's Festival of Modern Art. Numerous well-known contemporary artists including Roy Lichtenstein, among others, Salvador Dali, Joseph Beuys, Friedensreich Hundert Wasser and Jim Whiting Heller participated with their artworks and installations. 1987 Black and Mac and Clown Parade. 1988 Body and Soul, a show of Black American heritage stage show with musicians, singers, dancers, and grotesque comedy artists from Harlem, Mubala, and New Orleans, tour through New York and Europe. 1988 Giardino Botanico a Rusca, acquisition of Fondazione André Heller in Gardone Riviera, Italy, approximately 10.000 square meters botanical gardens. 1989 Chinese National Circus. 1991 Jagmandir, the eccentric private theatre of the Maharana of Udaipur, India. 1991 Sinking giant flower sculpture and fountain versing Kender Reason in the gardens of Schönbrunn Palace, Vienna. 1991 Wonder House on Broadway in New York, USA. 1992 Bamboo Man, a 55-meter-high sculpture floating in the harbor of Hong Kong. 1992 Wintergarten Variety with Bernhard Paul, inauguration of the theater building in Berlin, Germany. 1995 Swarovski Crystal Worlds Heller designed in Wattens, Tyrol. 1996 Brockhaus Encyclopedia 2000 design of the 24-volume deluxe edition of this encyclopedia for the 20th edition. 1997 Boat of Salt in the Dead Sea in Israel. 1997 The Dumb Prophet, a light sculpture in 8 Ben Hardou, Morocco. 1997 You May Flight Through Dreams, a Japanese kaleidoscope, Tokyo and European tour. 1998 Meteorite, a place of amazement, Wanda Chambers on the energy theme for the Rheinisch-Westfälische Elektrizitätswerk, Essen, Germany. 1998 Anima, planning for an animal park on a former Krupp site in Bochum. 1999 Voices of God, an event with spiritual singers, musicians, and dancers from 12 cultures, Marrakesh, Morocco. 2000 Der Ergist, a 14-meter-high sculpture, half man, half bird, watches over the pavilion's Living Planet Square. The Worldwide Fund for Nature at the Expo. 2002 In the Heart of Light, Night of the Prima Donnas, a poetic documentation of a myth conceived and produced by André Heller and adapted for the screen by Pepe Dancourt. 2002 Foreboding, La Voix Humaine. The Théâtre du Châtelet in Paris was the venue for the staging of Anticipation, La Voix Humaine, a cooperation between André Heller and Jesse Norman in October 2002. 2003 Football Globe, the architectural herald for the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany, one tour in Germany, one tour internationally. 2004 Jesse Norman, a documentary by André Heller and Udmarsh Midera. 2005 Africa, African music, dance and acrobat show. 2011 Magnifico, a fantastic horse show, showing a kaleidoscope of fairy tale scenes around the horse motif. Works: King Kong, King Meier Ling, Einstuck Theatre, opening premiere of the Vienna Festival, Austria. Sein und Schein, play, premiered in 1993 at the Burg Theatre in Vienna. Im Totenwinkel, documentary about Hitler's secretary Traudl Junger, won the Panorama Audience Award for the Berlinale 2002. Scheitern, Besser Scheitern, a conversation between Gert Voss and Harold Schmidt. Writing Sie nennen mich den Messlwerfer. Die Unter der Schlaflosigkeit in Wien, illustrated book. Auf und Davon. Die Sprache der Salamander, Songs 1971–1981. Flick Flack, a vaudeville poetic photographs by Stefan Moses, pictorial. Wohlfahrten zum Allerheiligsten der Fantasie. Schlamassel. Brockhaus Enzyklopädie 2000, shaping the 24-volume luxury edition. Bilderleben, öffentliches and privates, pictorial. Als sich ein Hund war, Schattentaucher, wie ich lernte, bei mir selbst kein zu sein. Eine Erzählung, a narrative story based on his childhood, youth at a Jesuit boarding school. Discography Die frühen Jahre 1966–1969. No. 1. Platt. Das war André Heller. Neue Lieder. A Musi a. Bei lebendigem Lieb. A Bendland. Bastar. Bitter und Süß. Aus Durchschnitt hell. Höriger und gestriger Lieder. Verwünschen. Stimmenhören. Narrenlieder. Liebeslieder. Kritische Gesamtausgabe 1967–1991. Rough und Echo. Bestseller 1967–2007. Awards. 1986 Bambi. 1993 Berlin Bar. 2004 Amadeus Austrian Music Award for Rough und Echo. 2004 André Heller was elected to the list of 50 most important Austrians over the past 50 years with a readership survey from the Daily Courier. 2011 Romy for Scheitern, Besser Scheitern, Best Documentary TV. 2011 Raymond Ring.